Welcome to Mind Blueprint, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch our videos. We created this space to help you decode the silent architecture of your beautiful, complicated brain. And having you here as part of our community means the world to us. If our deep dives into human behavior help you understand your patterns and feel deeply seen, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel grow so we can keep bringing you accessible psychology and neuroscience. We hope you enjoy the video.
Today we're getting into something really important, the huge psychological difference between healthy detachment and what we call trauma-based avoidance. And trust me, getting this distinction right could totally change how you see yourself and your relationships. So, let's set the scene. I want you to picture a really high-stress moment. Maybe it's a huge family argument brewing, or a close friend is going through a massive crisis. You can just feel the anxiety in the room, right? It's intense. But while everyone else is getting completely swept up in the chaos, there you are, the one calm anchor in the middle of the storm.
And if that sounds at all familiar, then I bet you've also dealt with what comes next. People look at your calm and they don't get it. They might even call you cold or accuse you of not caring, all because you aren't freaking out right there with them. But here's the thing. What if that's not just wrong, but completely backwards? What if that reaction isn't some kind of character flaw, but actually a highly developed psychological skill?
So let's just reframe this whole thing right now. Because you know what? That ability to stay grounded when everything gets emotional, that's not something to be ashamed of. It's basically a masterpiece of survival, and it is high time we started treating it like the superpower it really is.
Okay, so a big part of the confusion here comes from our culture. We have this myth, right? This idea that to really love someone, you have to completely absorb their suffering. That if they're having a bad day, you have to have a bad day too. But that's not love. Psychologists have a word for it, enmeshment, and it is a one-way ticket to burnout.
And this brings us to the absolute heart of the matter. We have to get clear on the huge difference between two very, very different ways of stepping back from emotion. Because one is a trauma response, and the other is a sign of profound emotional health.
First, let's be super clear about what we're not talking about. Unhealthy emotional detachment. Think of it like a suit of armor. It's a trauma response. It's where someone consistently builds a wall to avoid connection, to numb out, usually because feeling things has just become way too dangerous or painful. It's about avoiding intimacy, period.
Now, healthy detachment, that's a whole different ballgame. It's the skill of being able to manage your own emotions so you can stay right there with someone, warm, present, engaged, but without completely losing yourself in their emotional storm. See the difference? It's not about disconnecting. It's about connecting without dissolving.
And this chart, wow, it just lays it all out so clearly, doesn't it? I mean, look at the left side. Stays present, manages emotional involvement, protects your sense of self. This isn't about not caring. It's about caring smart. It's about caring wisely. And then you look at the other side. Withdraws, numbs out, avoids. They're not even in the same universe.
So how does this actually work? Like, what is physically happening inside your brain that lets you stay so grounded while everyone else is, well, not?
Well, what's happening is your brain is doing something incredible. It's creating this little tiny but absolutely crucial gap, a space between what happens to you and how you respond. And in that space, you get to choose. You get to observe the situation instead of just reacting to it. You become a witness, not a hostage. That's huge.
You know, there's actually a technical term for this in psychology, especially in family therapy. It's called differentiation of self. And it's basically the ability to stay super close and emotionally connected to the people you love while still knowing exactly where you end and they begin. You don't get all tangled up in their anxiety. And this, right here, this is what it looks like in real life. Your partner can be having a total meltdown of a day, and you can be there for them, you can listen, you can support them, but their bad mood doesn't have to become your personal five-alarm fire. You get to hold that space for them without letting their crisis become your own.
And what's really cool is that this skill isn't just for dealing with other people. It works on you, too. It's a way to protect yourself from your own thoughts. There's a therapy called acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT, and they call this cognitive diffusion. It's all about learning how to separate yourself from what you're thinking.
Okay, so think about a really harsh thought, like, I am a failure. For a lot of us, when that thought shows up, we don't even question it. It's not a thought, it feels like a fact. It feels like an identity. You're totally fused with that inner critic. But when you use diffusion, you create that exact same space we were talking about before. You just add a few simple words. I am having the thought that I'm a failure. It's a tiny shift, but it changes everything. You're not trying to fight the thought. You're just observing it. And by doing that, you realize it's just a bunch of words passing through your mind. It's not who you are.
All right, so let's tie all of this together. What does all this actually mean for how we connect with people, how we love them, and how we support them in our lives?
The next time somebody mistakes your calm for not caring, I want you to remember this quote. Just becoming an emotional sponge for everyone around you, that's not the gold standard for love. A lot of the time, it's just anxiety wearing a really convincing costume. And honestly, it burns everyone out in the end.
And this is probably the most important thing to walk away with. Being grounded, being calm, it doesn't disconnect you from life. It actually lets you show up for life and for the people in it in a way that's so much more helpful and sustainable. You absolutely are allowed to care so deeply without letting it destroy you.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. The next time you find yourself in the middle of all that emotional chaos, just pause and ask yourself this. The answer might just reveal the true nature of your strength and what it really means to help the people you love.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe button and join our community of bridge builders. Let's keep exploring the weird and wonderful ways our psychology shapes who we are today. See you in the next one.